Weber and Chevelle fertilises pace shoot, pulls in. Looking very much forward to this one. 20 laps on the Lioness Steel Fabricators lap counter. Snoopy Super Rod Slam about to get into action. Green cloth aloft and Sean Walsh to lead us away. Around the outside we've got Paul Verhoeven. Walsh on the inside, Verhoeven on the outside. Jesus, neck and neck as they head down the back straight for the first time. The Warrnambool 98 of Ewan McKenzie sits back in third. Further back we go through the field to Dane Court. Jamie May around the outside now trying to move on Ewan McKenzie. Up in front, Paul Verhoeven. Second circulation as they head down the back straight in the Warrnambool 5 of Paul Verhoeven, a clear leader just for the moment. The Simpson, the Lang 13 rather of Sean Walsh sits back in second. The Warrnambool 98 of Ewan McKenzie in third. McKenzie coming under a bit of pressure from May, although May's just lost a little bit of touch with Ewan McKenzie. We've got the 15 of Dane Court moving through. Got the 59, the Simpson 59, of course, of Michael Code, moving his way through the field nicely and trying to pluck off a few. Comes up behind Dane Court. Through on McKenzie goes May now. McKenzie has another look back down the inside. He's not close enough, though, to make that move stick. The Warrnambool 5 of Paul Verhoeven, your race leader, leading it nicely. Although he's got pressure now from the Compass powder coating Lang 13 of Sean Walsh. Back in third we go, further back to Jamie May. Further back we go to Dane Court, the Warrnambool 98 of Ewan McKenzie. Back there in company with Michael Code, driving the Simpson 59. Further back we go in the field to the Avalon 10 of Alan Pitcher. Neville Gaines back there. And then we've got a real little gaggle back towards the back of the field with Rod Smith. Further back with George Wollstonecroft and the 73 of Paul Baker at the tail. But up in front, meanwhile, with 14 laps remaining, we've got Paul Verhoeven, your race leader. He opens the gate slightly there for Sean Walsh. Can Sean make it stick down the back straight? Shoves it up the inside. Verhoeven still leads off turn 4, and Verhoeven still your race leader. The Warrnambool 5 of Paul Verhoeven. You can just see the Lang 13 starting to go to work and really trying to pressure the Warrnambool 5 of Paul Verhoeven. So Sean Walsh looking to make his move. Jamie May coming up on the back of the pair of them now. So Jamie May in the Warrnambool 8 car. We've got one infield, that's the Warrnambool 73 of Paul Baker. So he heads infield and we've got a real problem up in front. Not sure, Gary Ross, whether you've seen what happened there. I took my eye off for a moment. And Sean Walsh is involved and Jamie May.
Yeah. Bit of a fire. You can pretty much say just one of those racing incidents. Sean Walsh was up on the back there of Paul Verhoeven. Jamie May was right there as well. So Jamie May never had anywhere.
Lights are out. We're about to go green. 13 laps left in our Snoopy Super Rod Slam here on this January 9, 2021. And the Warrnambool 5 of Paul Verhoeven leads us away once again. Jamie May on resumption, still looking comfortable. Ewan McKenzie makes him, he almost made him pay off turn 2 for the Super Rods as Ewan McKenzie perseveres on the inside. Jamie May up around the outside. Michael Code now looking to try and buy into this top 3. We've then got Neville Gaines back there behind them in the really striking new paint scheme. The Avalon 10 of Alan Pitcher, a long way back now to Rod Smith, George Wollstonecroft, and at the tally field you've got the Warrnambool 73 of Paul Baker. Up in front though, it's all about the lead. And the Warrnambool 5 of Paul Verhoeven still leading the way. Jamie May throwing everything at him, including the kitchen sink at the moment. Not quite getting the rewards though. Ewan McKenzie sits in third. Michael Code back in fourth. Further back we go to Neville Gaines. Alan Pitcher now trying to buy into this battle up in front in the Avalon 10.
Don't discount Michael Code out of this just yet because I think he's still got something left in the bag for Ewan McKenzie.
And he's come from a long way back. In fact, he started out of position 12, so he's right on it now. He's up into position 4. He's looking to try and put some passes down on Ewan McKenzie. Warrnambool 8 of Jamie May just can't find a way past the Warrnambool 5 of Paul Verhoeven. He's had a couple of really good attempts. They're going to come around, and the Warrnambool 5 of Paul Verhoeven leading the way with 8 laps remaining here at Hastings Stockbeat Simpson Speedway. And he's still persevering and he's still trying, Jamie May, but he just can't find a way past. He's made some really good lunges and attempts, just can't quite finish the execution of them. He now gets a good look up the inside as they head down to turns 1 and 2 for the super rods, and Verhoeven are up around the outside. Just has to straighten it up, and he's lost ground, and something's broken in that car in the front end. It's steering into the wall badly, and Jamie May is OUT now, if he wasn't before, Gary.
Yeah, that front end has some sort of issue. It's partially collapsed.
So that's, you could just see when they went through turns 1 and 2 for the super rods, and Paul Verhoeven, his body was, you know, sideways through the turn, as you'd expect for a speedway car, and you just seen Jamie Mays sort of straighten up in the middle of the turn, and it just, that's obviously what's happened. Something's broken, and a bit of a passenger after that.
Certainly was. Where's George?
George is sitting back in, probably too close to the start finish line this time round, so we'll have one more rolling lap. We should be back underway with only 7 laps remaining, so it is starting to get serious now, Gary Ross.
Yeah, and you look at those front top 5 cars, in fact, with Paul Verhoeven, Michael Coe, Ewan McKenzie, Neville Gange and Alan Pitcher there. Yeah. It's still anybody's race at this point.
You'd expect the blowtorch to be right on Verhoeven right now, with Cody right behind him. Can Paul Verhoeven hang on with 7 laps remaining in the inaugural edition of Snoopy's Super Rod Slam? The green flag drops, and the Warrnambool 5 of Paul Verhoeven down into turn 1 and 2 for the Super Rods. Just going to get the better run off turn 2. And he powers away from Code, who now powers back at him. So Code probably a little bit faster into the turns, and maybe Verhoeven a little bit smoother off them. He's got a nice little buffer though over Cody now, and he's driving really well out in front, Paul Verhoeven. And he's not doing anything wrong, so Code's going to have to be right on his game to beat him. Wow. Makes that lunge and slides up in front now though, and that was a massive move. Can he get the go off turn 4? He can, so he does take that position now. So Paul Verhoeven, we've got the yellows on, and I'm not quite sure what that one's for.
Why? Ah, it's the 73.
The 73 of Paul Baker. He's come to rest just there. Just not quite inside the white blocks, Gary, I don't think, is the issue.
Okay. Truck and Ag, $200 there. Also a random pill draw and the quickest lap time contingency award. So,
well, at the moment, Gary, the hard charge would have to be your leader, really. He's come from 12.
It certainly has.
5 laps remain. Green cloth aloft once again. Can Verhoeven fire a shot back at Michael Code? We're about to find out as the laps close down in Snoopy's Super Rod Slam, and Code takes off through turns 4, and Verhoeven tries to go with him. Ewan McKenzie sits back in 3rd, Gange back in 4th, further back to the Avalon 10 of Alan Pitcher. So Pitcher sits back in 5th, Rod Smith back in 6th, and further back to Gorgeous George back in 7th position, but up in front Michael Code. That's where it's at. He's pulling away from the field. Got a good gap now over Verhoeven, who sits back in 2nd. Ewan McKenzie still firing shots back in 3rd. In the Warrnambool 98, Neville Gange in the Lang 56 also sits back there nicely, poised if something goes wrong up in front. The Avalon 10 of Alan Pitcher back there, also in 5th. Further back in 6th, the Rod Smith and Wollstonecroft at the tail.
Code's confidence seems to be growing.
Yeah, it certainly does. He's making every post a winner. He's got 2. He'll get the white flag next time round. And he's really going to put this one to bed. He's going on with it here, Code, in the Simpson 59. As he comes off turn 4 for the second last time, he gathers the white flag. And Michael Code, on his last circulation of the Heytesbury Stock Feed Simpson Speedway, he's going to take the Snoopy Super Rod Slam for 2021, the inaugural edition, and the Simpson 59 of Michael Code, your winner. Warrnambool 5 of Paul Verhoeven in 2nd, Ewan McKenzie in the Warrnambool 98 home for 3rd, ahead of Neville Gange in the Lang 56, the Avalon 10 of Alan Pitcher, ahead of Rod Smith and George Wollstonecroft.
Ewan McKenzie was pretty lucky there to pick up third, because on the prior lap he went high and tagged the fence up on the middle of turn 3 and 4, and that let Neville Gange past him for third place momentarily, and then Ewan was able to get back by once again.
He certainly did. But all plaudits to Michael Code tonight. Put your hands together. He goes around with the checkered flag. Give him a big clap. What a drive. Come from position 12, the last spot on the grid for tonight's feature. And he takes the inaugural Snoopy Super Rod Slam. What a drive from Michael Code. Didn't see that coming, to be honest, Gary. Ball for Hoven finishes off in second ahead of Ewan McKenzie, Nev Gange and Alan Pitcher rounds out your top 5. Put your hands together down through turn 4 for the Super Rods. Down the front straight for Michael Code. A great drive in the Simpson 59 tonight. Drives the car up into victory lane. And Gary Ross will have the drivers down trackside in just a few moments' time.